Have you ever looked at a piano and thought, I wish I could play that someday? Maybe you've even tried learning before. You watched a few YouTube tutorials, downloaded a piano app, or even considered taking private lessons. But after a few days, or maybe a few weeks, you gave up. And honestly, you're not alone. Learning the piano has always been seen as something that requires years of practice, expensive lessons, and endless hours of memorizing sheet music before you can even play your first real song. For many people, that's simply too much. Between work, family, school, and everyday responsibilities, finding the time and the motivation to stick with traditional piano lessons can be incredibly difficult. That's exactly why online piano courses have become so popular over the last few years. They promise flexibility, lower costs, and the ability to learn at your own pace from the comfort of your home. But with so many different courses available today, one important question remains: which one is actually worth your money? One of the names that keeps appearing over and over again is Pianoforall. It's been around for more than a decade, claims to have helped hundreds of thousands of students around the world, and has built a reputation as one of the most popular online piano courses for beginners. But does it actually live up to all that hype? Or is it just another digital course making big promises? That's exactly what we're going to find out. For this review, I carefully researched the course, explored its teaching method, analyzed its curriculum, looked at what students are saying, and compared its approach with more traditional ways of learning piano. In this video, I'll explain what Pianoforall is, how it works, what's included, its biggest strengths, a few potential downsides you should know about, and most importantly, whether it's the right choice for you. My goal isn't to convince you to buy anything. It's simply to help you make an informed decision before spending your money. So, if you've been thinking about learning piano but you're not sure where to start, or if you've been wondering whether Pianoforall is really worth it in 2026, let's take a closer look. So, what exactly is Pianoforall? In simple terms, Pianoforall is a complete online piano course designed primarily for beginners and intermediate players who want to learn piano in a practical and enjoyable way. Unlike traditional music schools that often begin with hours of music theory and sheet reading, Pianoforall takes a very different approach. The idea is to get you playing real music as quickly as possible. Instead of spending weeks memorizing notes before touching an actual song, the course introduces you to rhythm-based piano playing from day one. The philosophy behind this method is actually quite interesting. Think about how children learn to speak. They don't start by studying grammar. They learn by listening, repeating, and practicing naturally. Only later do they learn how to read and write. Pianoforall applies a similar concept to learning the piano. First, you develop confidence by playing simple chord patterns and popular rhythms. Then, little by little, you begin learning music theory, reading sheet music, improvisation, and more advanced techniques. This progression makes the learning process feel much less intimidating for complete beginners. The course itself is organized into 10 digital books, each focusing on a different stage of your musical journey. As you move through the lessons, you'll explore rhythm piano, chord progressions, ballads, blues, jazz, rock and roll, improvisation, advanced chords, classical piano, scales, exercises, and techniques for playing by ear. One thing I really like about the overall structure is that everything follows a logical sequence. Each lesson builds on the previous one instead of overwhelming you with too much information all at once. Another feature that makes Pianoforall stand out is its multimedia approach. Rather than relying only on written lessons, every book combines detailed explanations with keyboard diagrams, audio demonstrations, and video tutorials. This means you don't just read about a technique, you actually see it, hear it, and then practice it yourself. That kind of combination can make learning much easier, especially if you're a visual learner. Another major advantage is flexibility. Since everything is delivered digitally, you can access the course on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Even better, once you've downloaded the materials, you don't need a constant internet connection to continue practicing. That makes it much easier to fit lessons into a busy schedule. Whether you have 20 minutes after work or an hour on the weekend, you can simply open the course and continue exactly where you left off. And that's really one of Pianoforall's biggest strengths. It isn't trying to turn complete beginners into concert pianists overnight. Instead, its goal is to help ordinary people enjoy playing music as early as possible, while gradually building the skills needed to become confident piano players. Now let's talk about what you actually get when you purchase Pianoforall. One thing I noticed during my research is that this isn't a course with just a handful of video lessons. Instead, it's a complete learning system built around 10 interactive digital books, each covering a specific stage of your development as a piano player. As you progress through the course, you'll move from basic rhythm playing to ballads, blues, jazz, rock and roll, advanced chord techniques, improvisation, classical piano, scales, and even learning how to play by ear while gradually understanding sheet music. Rather than focusing on only one musical style, the course exposes you to several genres. That's important because it helps you develop skills that can be applied to many different songs instead of simply memorizing a few pieces. Another feature that stands out is the way the lessons are presented. Each lesson combines written explanations with keyboard diagrams, audio demonstrations, and embedded videos. Instead of switching between different apps or searching YouTube for additional explanations, everything is integrated into one place. For many beginners, that makes the learning experience much smoother. Another thing worth mentioning is the pricing model. Unlike many modern learning platforms that charge monthly subscriptions, Pianoforall is available through a one-time payment. That means you buy the course once and continue using it without worrying about recurring monthly fees. If you're planning to learn over several months, that can represent a significant saving compared to traditional lessons or subscription-based apps. Another advantage is the ability to study completely at your own pace. There are no deadlines, no scheduled classes, and no pressure to keep up with other students. You decide when to practice and how quickly you move through each lesson. Of course, no course is perfect. One limitation is that Pianoforall is designed for self-learning. If you're someone who needs a teacher watching every movement, correcting your posture, or giving you live feedback during practice sessions, this course may not provide the level of personal guidance you're looking for. Another point to consider is that your progress depends largely on your consistency. The lessons are well organized, but no online course can replace regular practice. Even the best teaching method won't produce results if you rarely sit down at the keyboard. So while Pianoforall provides a clear roadmap, your improvement will ultimately depend on the time and effort you're willing to invest. Overall, though, I think the biggest strength of Pianoforall is its practical philosophy. Instead of making beginners feel overwhelmed by complex music theory, it focuses on building confidence first. For many people, that approach can make the difference between giving up after a few weeks and actually enjoying the learning process enough to keep going. So, after looking at everything Pianoforall has to offer, the big question is, who is this course actually for? In my opinion, Pianoforall is an excellent fit for complete beginners who have always wanted to learn piano but felt intimidated by traditional lessons. It's also a great option for people with busy schedules who need the flexibility to learn whenever they have free time. If you've tried learning piano before and became frustrated because everything felt too technical or moved too slowly, there's a good chance you'll appreciate Pianoforall's practical, step-by-step teaching style. I also think it's a strong choice for guitar players, singers, songwriters, and musicians who already have some musical experience but want to become comfortable on the piano without starting from scratch in a traditional classroom. On the other hand, if you're already an advanced pianist preparing for professional performances or formal music examinations, this probably isn't the course you're looking for. Pianoforall focuses on helping everyday people become confident, well-rounded piano players, not on advanced conservatory-level training. So, is it worth the money? Based on everything I researched, I would say yes. One of the biggest reasons is the overall value. Instead of paying monthly subscription fees or spending hundreds of dollars on private lessons, you get lifetime access through a single payment. For many people, that's a much more affordable way to learn. I also like the fact that the course doesn't overwhelm beginners with complicated music theory right away. Instead, it focuses on building confidence first, helping students enjoy making music from the beginning while introducing more advanced concepts gradually. Of course, no course can replace dedication and consistent practice. Buying Pianoforall won't magically make anyone a great pianist overnight. Like any skill, learning piano takes time, patience, and regular practice, but having a clear learning path can make that journey much easier and much more enjoyable. Overall, I can understand why this course has remained popular for so many years. Its teaching philosophy is different from many traditional methods, and for beginners, that difference may be exactly what keeps them motivated instead of giving up after a few weeks. If you're seriously thinking about learning piano at home, Piano for All is definitely a course worth considering. If you'd like to learn more, check the latest price, or see everything that's currently included, I've placed the official link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more honest product reviews, and let me know in the comments which course you'd like me to review next. I'll see you in the next video.